It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny B to
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenny Walker! Touchdown! Smarty!
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the 25th day of July, 2023. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. You can text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000 Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. Adding.com to that to find our website. xbmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And you can find us all individually on Twitter. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. How are we on this Tuesday morning?
Good. We're just checking out the news here. The smoke is returning today, so be aware, and it'll be better tomorrow. They're saying so. Yeah, the smoke returns today.
The smoke returns today.
They have to be getting this under control. I hope. The wildfires just. Are we helping? Is the United States helping with these wildfires in Canada? Because it's crazy that they're still dealing with this, and we're still dealing with it.
Yeah, global issue, right? I mean the winds were carrying it over to Europe
because it's it's raining plenty here in the Midwest. I mean, it's been raining a lot.
Yeah, we needed it. It's been a pretty moderate dry summer.
Well, it's been nice. It's not like it's been all day rains. It's like it'll rain for 45 minutes and then it's nice the rest of the day.
Which is key, because if you're gonna go play golf or you're gonna go boating or you're gonna try to get some stuff done around the house, we don't need a 12-hour torrential rain. We just hit us with a flash for about an hour and be done. The only problem with that is when you have a city like Detroit, anything that's a flash floods the infrastructure damn near immediately. Like I saw the other day, was it last Thursday, when I was driving back through that crazy storm that extended the entire length of the state of Michigan, worst storm I've ever driven in, without question. That didn't have snow. That's the kicker.
Yeah, and you it followed you. You followed it.
Couldn't
you drove with it.
Yeah. Could not shake it. I mean, it was Traverse City to south of Lansing, and I was just in the red the entire time. Like it was awful. But I did see that Freddie had a video up, I believe, on his Twitter, I think, of the flooding that it was already basically starting at that point. I don't know where his whereabouts were, but it's exactly what I assumed that we would see. Anything 75, 94, surrounding the city of Detroit, because it just doesn't drain. Like there's nowhere for the water to go, and it just floods. Like that's just what happens. It's unfortunate, but hey, what are you going to do? And what did you work last night or yesterday? The game?
I did, yes. Great game. And I didn't get to speak with them. Well, first of all, I didn't know it was Hunter Pence. I saw this guy all morning, and he's just like this super tall, awkward person. And then Simo on the broadcast was like, yeah, I was talking to Giants analyst Hunter Pence. And I was like, holy cow, I've just been standing next to Hunter Pence and didn't really pay attention. And then the Giants do a really weird broadcast structure, we'll call it. They had like this young kid called the first 3 or 4 innings, and then play-by-play legend John Miller did the rest of the game. So that was cool to see. I don't know where he was hiding the first few innings, but he just popped in there in the 4th inning, and I was like, "Oh, it's John Miller. That's cool."
Hey, you.
But
Hey,
I don't know where he was hiding.
Well, I mean, maybe he was just hanging out in the back. Maybe he was upset the fact that he had to pay for the buffet.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't. There's certain people that don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a list.
Oh, wow. How about that? Man, I never made it up the chain of command there to make that.
No,
that
you're not on the
super
list. Sorry.
That super secret list. I didn't even know there was one. I just walked over and I saw you had to pay for it, and I turned around and I was like, I'll just grab a water. You're not. It wasn't even It's not even the $10. It's the principal. I just turned around and walked away. You're not getting my money to not spend on any Hall of Famers. Get out of here. I'm not paying for this. Turned around and walked away. I just sit there and have
hot dogs are free.
Nah, not a big hot dog guy.
Frozen grapes.
Had a little popcorn, and that was about it. But it's tough to eat and do my job at the same time, anyways. You don't want to turn on the mic and just be spilling kernels everywhere, and have a bunch of debris in the windscreen. That's kind of disgusting.
Suffer and succotash, and you're just
can't suffer and succotash and have just stuff all over the window. I actually worked at a station where the windscreen on the main mic, it was the same. There was one local show. It was in the afternoons, and the windscreen was like the black that you see on mine in this camera. Now, I've had this windscreen for, I don't know, 3 years. Looks about the same. The windscreen at the station that I worked at was like a black, but this was almost gray at the front where you talk into the most, and it was discolored, and it smelled. And like if you went to talk into it and you would breathe, you would be able to smell the windscreen. And I'm like, dude, I'd never again. So when it comes to equipment, like, dude, you gotta keep that stuff. Don't, you gotta keep that nice. Can't be out here having the windscreen full of God knows what, sausage, egg, and cheese McBiscuits, and just a bunch of stuff everywhere. Like, oof, that's terrible. I don't even know how we got started on that. Probably because I wasn't going to eat the glizzies at Comerica Park because I wasn't going to pay for them. Plain and simple. We have an injury at camp that happened yesterday. Early return on the reports is good, but maybe we escaped some devastation there for the Detroit Lions. See how quickly it can turn? See how quickly that can happen? I mean, God forbid, what if that would have been Jahmyr Gibbs? How the hell would we get any air yards if something were to happen to him? That's all I could think about was like, oh, see? If you think that's a crazy story, wait till you hear what happened to Naheem Hines. Blew his ACL on a jet ski. It happens just like that, in the blink of an eye. The Tigers being able to win their game yesterday against the Giants, that's pretty crazy because our buddy Mr. Applebaum yesterday said, take the Tigers. And indeed, he took the Tigers. And I believe that they were favorites not only on the money line, I believe, right? I think they had.
They were minus 145.
Yeah, they were. That's a pretty good favorite right there. So good on Josh for helping us out there, make a good pick and a good selection and win a little bit of money. And we'll talk more Tigers baseball coming up next here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for Matt Golden and his team at the Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes, Michigan. They just got exciting news. Tullymore, once again, has been ranked as one of America's top 100 greatest public golf courses by Golf Digest. Number 73 in America. And you can experience Tullymore. If you've never played before, you need to get up there. There's a Tullymore Golf Course, St. Ives, 36 holes, great stay and play accommodations. Or if you just want to book a tee time, Tullymore is less than an hour north of GR. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That is tullymoregolf.com. You can book a tee time for this summer, stay and play package throughout the end of the year, or even look ahead to 2024. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com. And congrats to everybody at Tullymore for being named one of America's top 100 greatest public golf courses by Golf Digest.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations across Michigan. You're going to want to look into that unlimited monthly pass that I use. Superfly Hayes, my producer, uses it. I can get my SUV washed as often as I like for one low price. You can sign up today. Just go to MrCarWash.com or stop by your local Mr. Car Wash location here in Michigan for the one close to you. And to get that unlimited pass, go to MrCarWash.com.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Good Tuesday morning to all of you. Get it, that winning feeling with the DraftKings Sportsbook, folks. Money lines, props, parlays, and more. You can bet on your favorite sports and take a shot at huge wins. New customers can score $150 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5 on literally anything. Plus, all customers can take their winnings to the next level with the DraftKings same-game parlays. Open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place your parlay by combining multiple bets from a single game for a shot at an even bigger payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Sign up using the promo code HUGE, where new customers can score $150 in bonus bets for betting just $5 on anything. That's code HUGE only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus, Michigan only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions do apply. See terms at DraftKings.com/baseball terms. That'll work right there. By the way, it's sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. So I just skipped some words. No big deal. Tigers with a one-off little series against the San Francisco Giants, a makeup from a game that was postponed and rained out earlier in the year. And Zach Short and company making easy work of the San Francisco Giants.
Launches one, left field, and deep. That ball is gone! Two-run bomb on the first pitch he sees on a Monday afternoon. His fifth of the season on the first pitch he sees gives the Tigers a 4-run lead as we head to the ninth. Bonk.
Sneaky little bugger right there. You heard Simo. Bonk. Yep, it bounced over the wall off the foul pole. And, yeah, good to go. Just hit right underneath where the fencing stops to the foul pole. Who's on hold in?
Our boy GB. He's heading up somewhere.
GB's heading somewhere. All right, Mr. Ritz. GB, are you going to the Ritz-Carlton?
Already left the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you what, you definitely got your phone from there. Let's listen to this guy. God, it sounds like you're in HD right now, GB.
We are going up to Tullymore and St. Ives.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Well, that's exciting.
12 of us are going up there to truck around both courses. St. Ives today, Tullymore tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Okay, smart move. Veteran play there. 18 today, 18 tomorrow. Are you guys staying right there at Tullymore?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a Taco Tuesday package, so we just signed up for that, and we're going up there. We're doing it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, have you played Tullymore and St. Ives before?
I have played them both before, but it's been a few years, since before COVID.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
It's been a while.
This is the return of the Ritz. I like this.
Yes, it's going to be fun. I haven't played golf in 2 weeks, and I'm going through withdrawals because my back has been just killing me. Honest to God, I haven't been able to play more than 6 holes in a round. So
really?
Hopefully I can muddle. Yeah, hopefully I can muddle through this. I get a pinched nerve or something, and I played about 10 shots yesterday just to try it at my local course. I went out and played a few holes with some guys, and then came in just to see if I could swing, and I knew what to expect. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, Anthony, that I can just swing easy, and just keep the ball in play and not waste strokes. Don't want any extra swings involved here today.
Have you seen anybody about your back yet?
You know what? I couldn't get in till August 14th. That's how, and that's when my appointment is. But I have had shots in my lower back before my hip surgery.
Wow, man, you got a lot going on there, GB.
Well, my hip's great now. I had the hip replaced in 21, and that's not a problem. It's just somewhere now this nerve is getting pinched again, and we'll get it squared away. But it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And everybody seems anxious to go up there, so it's going to be a good time.
Well, that's very exciting. I'm excited for you. I hope it's going to be fantastic, and I hope your back allows you to play. I was going to try to say, like, call QC Kinetics. That's what Dale in Muskegon uses, to get him right. And from, like, a physical therapy standpoint, you got to do that thing where you lay down on the ground and you take your right leg and you throw it over your body and then you twist back towards your right. Get everything all stretched and pop back into place. You'll be fine. We'll throw
Sounds
some
like
ice
a
on.
plan. One thing I wanted. Did you hear anything more about the guy the Lion that got injured? There's been conflicting reports that it could be serious, but then now they're saying it's not serious. The guy from Philadelphia, we got from Philadelphia.
From the streets of Philadelphia. Yeah, he just got done talking about Eagles fans, too, and how they are obnoxious. And they are obnoxious. And, of course, he goes down with an injury. He gets carted off the practice field yesterday, and Eagles fans are all over it. So just doubling down on their rottenness, if you will. But the early reports suggest that we have escaped disaster and that he's, quote-unquote, fine. That's what one NFL Network analyst had said, a source repeated to them. So more on that coming up. But, yeah, that's where we stand right now.
Well, perfect. That's good news. Well, I will give you a report when I get back. I'm not probably too busy because we're playing at 11 today and 8 in the morning tomorrow, and then coming home. So we'll talk. Oh, by the way, in that hailstorm, my car now, top of my car looks like a Titleist golf ball.
Really? You got you got hail where you were at?
Oh yeah, up at Davidson. I was at a course, and my hood, my trunk, and my roof all have dimples in them. No paint chips.
Wait, you were in Davidson?
Windows. Yeah, I was in where the heavy stuff came down. Yeah.
Wow. So my buddy Gian was just in that neighborhood yesterday because he works in the roofing industry now. And anytime there's a hailstorm, if it damages your shingles, what they do is they basically go to they hop up on your roof. They take a gander. If you have damage due to the weather, they go at your insurance company and they get the roof redone through the insurance.
Yeah, because you are supposed to check your roofs because the shingles will get damaged from hail. I've had a couple people tell me that, but I live in a condo, so that's not my concern. But in a altered, if I get a leak, I got to tell them. But hopefully they're going to come by and inspect the roofs. But in our area, we didn't get heavy hail. That heavy hail, I saw some cars that had baseball size, hardball size busts, in their glass. It was crazy. The damage I saw at the dealership when I was there earlier. Not today, but a few days ago.
Some crazy weather patterns that we're looking at.
Absolutely. Hey, I'll let you go because I know you're coming up on the break. And thanks for the time. I appreciate it, Anthony. And you guys take care.
I appreciate
Ryan, have
you.
a good day. And Dan?
GB, we appreciate
Thanks,
you.
GB.
And we hope that your back maintains and that you don't have to overswing. You don't have to crush it. Yeah, I don't know how many times I got to tell you people this. Don't overswing at it, GB. Do nice and easy. Let the club do the work.
That's my game plan, Anthony. Thank you so much, buddy.
All right, partner.
We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. We'll see you. There goes GB. I winked at the camera, so if you were watching, you can tell because I don't believe in letting the club do the work. I believe in swing speed. I believe in inertia, torque, rotation, all that. Just swing as hard as you can, and when you find it, swing as hard as you can.
Air yards for your golf ball.
Air yards. Because if I don't swing hard and hit that ball, there's nothing else I can do to advance the ball at all. By the way, speaking of the weather, have you ever heard of the term of directed energy weapons? Wow, where you can control weather,
I thought you were talking about those. Remember they were called like a ray gun when you were a kid, and it was like this. It would like shoot a poof of air at you.
The sonic boom.
Yes, that's what I thought you were talking about.
I remember the ray gun in Call of Duty Nazi Zombies. I remember getting my hands on that thing, but no, not the sonic boom poof gun. All right, we'll step aside. We will talk a little more Tigers when we return. ended up on Tullymore there for a second. And then C.J. Gardner Johnson going down with injury at camp. What this means moving forward, we'll get into that as well. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Hey, this is Matt Shepard from the Michigan Sports Network. I love summers in Michigan because it means golf season. Now, two things always when I go golfing. I make sure I got my sticks, and I've got plenty of cold, fresh Labatt Blue Light. Whether I've just squeezed in 18 holes or I just want to relax on the patio after a long day, everywhere I go, and I'm serious when I tell you this, I tell people about the smooth, genuine taste of Labatt Blue Light. It's just a great beer. Michigan Sports Network is giving you a chance to win a foursome to Michigan's best courses. Just listen weekdays to The Huge Show and X's and Bros, or just text GOLF to 21,000 to enter. That's GOLF to 21,000. The trip includes 2 overnight stays and 2 rounds of golf, all brought to you by my friends at Labatt Blue Light. So grab a Labatt Blue Light the next time you head out onto the course and enjoy the blue skies, because blue is for Michigan summers and great times. Always enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt is a registered U.S. trademark of Labatt Brewing Company, Ltd.
Bill Simonson here with a message from my good friend Josh Garvey. Now, he's the new managing shareholder for Bean Garter. At the end of the year, they'll be merging with Doran Mayhew, and they'll be stronger together as one of America's top accounting and business firms. And speaking of business, if you're a business owner, decision maker, Bean Garter has retirement planning services in combination with Doran Mayhew that can help take a lot of work off of your plate. Third-party administrator for 401k and 403b plans. They plan, document, design, and have maintenance of all plans. They can help you today. Go to BeanGarter.com for more information. Annual employer reporting, Form 500 and 8955 preparation and filing, and compliance testing. So let Bean Garter help you with your retirement planning services for your company. Stronger together now with Doran Mayhew. You can find out more at BeanGarter.com. That is BeanGarter.com.
From Traverse City to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, you're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here, X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network here. Br0's talking about Tullymore Golf Resort, Canadian Lakes. Hey, it's a great time for you to go visit Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes. My buddy Matt Golden, and here's his cell phone number. Call him personally, 1-800-972-4837, 1-800-972-4837. Tullymore not only features top-of-the-line golf, but also top-of-the-line accommodations and the perfect space for your wedding event, reception, or group outing. Located about an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant, smack dab in the middle of the state in Canadian Lakes, which means it's easy to get to no matter what direction you are coming from. For more information, log on online to tullymoregolf.com. Great to have you ride along with us this morning on the 25th day of July. That's always fun. I cannot believe August is right around the corner. Training camp opens up for the fans this coming weekend. Danny Rogers will kick things off on Saturday for us at Allen Park because I have the 5th annual Put-in-Bay 2-Man 2-Club Scramble. 20,000 estimated to be on the island last weekend for Christmas in July, which included a heavy Ohio State Patrol and local SWAT. I don't know who provided the SWAT, but according to WTOL 11, SWAT teams were on site. Got a little rowdy out there. Little rowdy. And that's what happens. Some people just don't know how to behave. It just is what it is. So either you're going to teach your kids or the law is going to teach them, one of the two. So I suggest you handle that at home. Couple of text messages here. AB, I forgot to tell you, I found out this family comes in from Toledo, has been for a while, but last week they finally got the chance to talk to them for a bit. Come to find out, one of them is a Detroit Tigers scout who was kept from Avila's tenure, and Avila's son still remains on the scouting staff. Guess Harris knew there was talent left. It's because, here's the deal. I figured this out without any real hard evidence here. So this is one of those you throw it at the wall and you see what sticks type of deals, like air yards and stuff. But Freddie used to have cigars with Al Avila in a place in Birmingham. Now, whether they knew each other and met each other at the venue to have cigars together, or they met each other while being there separately, that's why Freddie is willing. Loyalty, right? Coach D at Michigan State, perfect example of this. If you're not willing to cut ties with the people that aren't serving you, it's going to cost you your job. Loyalty,
or you try to cut ties with someone and then you get sued for letting their contract run out. You get sued for wrongful termination, even though you weren't terminated.
That is one of the most weaselest things I've ever heard. And, once you do that, I figure your career is just about over. Like, you're done here. No one should ever hire you after something like that. But anyways, that's why that's got to be it. There's no other reason that you would love somebody and defend somebody for nothing. For nothing. There's no way you get rid of and you lose out on multiple Hall of Famers and get nothing in return, and then we still praise the guy. Like, that's impossible. The only way it's possible is if there is a personal relationship that exists, and therefore you feel the need to come to your friend's defense. That I can totally understand.
And guess what?
What?
It would just be a little bit difficult to fire every single scout your organization has and get quality scouts, on your staff. You
don't just search online like Indeed.com and just get out there and be like MLB scouts.
Everybody's fired. Now it's us three. We're the top 3 scouts for the Tigers.
Who's going to the Dominican? This guy.
It's fun when those random coaching positions do pop up on your Indeed. I don't know if that's ever happened for you.
I don't have an Indeed, so it has not happened for me. But
I've had it happen to where it's like Villanova head coaching position for football.
On Indeed.com?
Yeah.
Well, you see that, Dan? While Ryan was out looking for new jobs, he's going to now become the coach
this was
of
like
Villanova.
8 years ago when I did work in this professional sports realm.
Can be very rewarding, can be very, very taxing. One of the things I really enjoy, Now that we got that Al Avila text out of there. But I'm glad the scout lives in Toledo. That's kind of cool. I'm glad he went up to see Freddie, and I'm glad they talked about how great Al Avila is. I mean, look at this team right now. They're just, I mean, they beat the Giants yesterday because of Al Avila. Water over the dam, but Herbert was there when we took Okuda. Stafford was still there, sure, but Herbert or Tua was the right pick for a well-run team, which we were not at the time. That's interesting.
Well, yeah, but it was kind of like they gave Matthew Stafford that one last year, like, hey, we're going to go out and get you some pieces, not, hey, we're going to refresh the team. You know, when they decided to refresh the team, they got rid of him. That was the end of it.
Well, this is why we need our teams to be good, because I'm tired of every day being, remember when we missed out on this person? Remember our old GM? Remember that we missed?
What I don't understand about this is that, but Herbert or Tua was the right pick for a well-run team, which we were not at the time. I need to know who's got a franchise quarterback that selected another quarterback in the top 10. When has that happened? Off the top of my head, I can't come up with anybody. I just hopped on Pro Football Reference real quick to run through some drafts so that I could see. The only teams that I can see that I could figure that went out and replaced a quarterback that they drafted in the top 10 immediately would have been Trey Lance due to injury and Zach Wilson because he's a bum in the 2021 draft. But outside of that, did Kansas City draft anybody? Did they draft a quarterback in the first round? Or they have their franchise guy?
Well, they had Alex Smith when they did draft Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but was he their franchise guy?
They won 4 straight divisions titles, I believe.
With Alex Smith? They won 4 straight divisions?
They won a couple in a row with him. No, they were a good team, but they hadn't taken that step of, getting to the Super Bowl.
I know the Packers took Jordan Love, but that was in the 20s.
Right.
The first quarterback that was selected when we took Aiden Hutchinson, first quarterback off the board was Kenny Pickett at 20. There was all that hype in 2022 about the quarterbacks, and we know how that worked out. The early returns suggest not great, but what I can't remember. Well, here's what I don't understand about this. One, we can move on from Matthew Stafford. It's totally fine. It's fine. It's that era of football's over. It's been over. We've been in the Dan Campbell era. This is season number 3 now for Dan Campbell. We don't ever have to mention Matthew Stafford again if you don't want to. We can remember it fondly. We can talk about his wife getting out of pocket from time to time. We can talk about Calvin. Obviously, Calvin being back around the organization is great. But I don't really understand why we go back in time. 2011, cool. 2014, awesome. Outside of that, why are we bringing up Matthew Stafford? Because we didn't draft a quarterback? You wanted Justin Herbert? Okay. You wanted Tua? How many games is Tua going to play this year? If you said Herbert, okay. I can get down with that. But I don't exactly know how in the world you're going to come up with, we got to have Tua Tagovailoa because, dude, is he even available? How long is he going to last? That's something that I've got some questions about. But for the Matthew Stafford debate, I'm good on it. I don't need it anymore. I'm sure you guys don't as well, but I don't understand why everything results back to oh, we should have had this guy. I'm going to tell you this right now. Although the record isn't great, Matthew Stafford needs less than 10,000 yards. Will he get it? I don't know. He needs less than 10,000 yards, and he's got, I don't know, about 50 games to do it. I think that's probably somewhat reachable. Because he's already got a higher rating, and he's been sacked more, and he has a higher rating. His yards are down a little bit. He's thrown, although he is about 90 touchdowns shy, he's almost got a 100 touchdown interception lead Oh, and he's got a Super Bowl. Better rating, more rushing attempts, more rushing yards, more rushing touchdowns. His record isn't as good because he played for the Lions. And I don't know, where does that put him against Dan Marino? He's got the ring, right? That's who I'm comparing him to right now.
Hey, as Shep always said, Joe Namath had an under 500 regular season record.
Yeah, and Stafford could get there, maybe. I don't know. Now, Dan Marino went to 9 Pro Bowls. He was a 6-time All-Pro. He was a league MVP. He was a Player of the Year by the Associated Press. Stafford has the Super Bowl and the Pro Bowl. That's about it. Statistically, though, it shakes up. But he was never considered the best at his position in the league, and I think that would be one of my criteria for the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Really Good, but you know how stingy I am when it comes to this. So, yeah, I'm not going to worry about, they were trying to draft players that would fit this program. And when they got Jared Goff, notice they drafted Penei Sewell. Notice they drafted Aiden Hutchinson, addressing the trenches first. They did go get a quarterback and a guy that would have been a top 5 pick had he not blown his knee out in Hendon Hooker. So you can feel good about that for our quarterbacks crowd out there. They could feel really good about that. Now, C.J. Gardner Johnson, defensive back of the Detroit Lions, the new acquisition here. He was up on the line of scrimmage. He was engaged in a block on a running play, collapsed to the ground, and ended up tapping on his right knee. Now, he was a 1-year, $8 million free agent acquisition and going to do a little corner, little safety sort of hybrid role, they think, is where Aaron Glenn is going to have him. They have a relationship from their time together in New Orleans. And if you go back to when C.J. Gardner Johnson was signed, Brad Holmes said he woke up his entire house because it happened late at night, and he was very excited to get him. And, quote, there's a reason why we got C.J., because we believe they certainly upgrade us protection-wise, but also they're football guys. They fit everything we're about, the way they go about their business. They're veteran guys. The injury was carted off the field. An update from Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, said there is optimism that Lions defensive back C.J. Gardner Johnson's knee injury is not serious. More tests to come after C.J. G.J. went down in practice today, but as one source put it, quote, he's fine. You don't want to speculate. It's too early for that, but remember who we got with pick 45 in this year's draft. The rookie second rounder, Brian Branch out of Alabama. Now, to circle back to, I like to circle back per my email, to circle back here in my corporate jargon, this is why I am not putting all of my faith into a guy that's never played an NFL snap and a guy who's appeared in 6 games, because strange bleep happens. Last year, we played damn near injury-free football for the most part. Like, it was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. This year, I don't believe that Jahmyr Gibbs, I know Schrager said recently Jahmyr Gibbs is going to set the league on fire. I hope he does. I hope that this works out. I hope he's got incredible burst from the line of scrimmage. I hope that he is a yak machine and he provides the coveted air yards, which directly equate to more wins. I love that. That's great. That's all fine and dandy. All the hype, a lot of outside noise right now. We got to make it through training camp in the preseason without an injury. That's what you need to do. It's 100% necessary, right? Roster is very large right now. You already don't have Emmanuel Mosley. Now you have C.J. Gardner Johnson, so there's two of the newly acquired guys. Now, luckily, you do have some depth here on this team, which that hasn't been something that we've necessarily been able to talk about throughout the course of our lives as people who have covered or are fans of the Detroit Lions. But Cam Sutton, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker, Emmanuel Mosley would be, who you would think would be the first team off the depth chart. Then you could have C.J. G.J. You can have Melly if you wanted him there. Brian Branch, Jerry Jacobs. And then you get down to the Will Harris, Savion Smith, Chase Lucas grouping, if you will. I don't know if Khalil Dorsey, Brandon Joseph, Jaron Williams haven't been out there yet, haven't seen him yet, haven't heard any reports on him yet, so I'll hold judgment on that. But that's like really what you think that your too deep is. They went out and addressed the secondary in free agency, addressed the secondary in the draft by getting the safety Branch, kind of that hybrid role as well, can kind of do it all, played at Alabama, big game experience. I love that. I love that. I would love to hear from Kelvin Shepard on how the linebackers are progressing. I would love to hear more about actual football instead of statistics that somebody came up with in a room and sat down in a think tank and said, oh, we got to look at it. Like, I get it. I understand. It's going to happen throughout the course of the year. This is another reason why there is, I've had some questions if whether or not we are prepared to be able to handle all of this. Are we prepared for this level of expectation and success that frankly hasn't been seen since what, the 50s? Maybe the early 90s? Maybe. I don't remember if we were the favorites to win the Central, but I don't know if that pressure has ever been applied to this organization the way that it is today in today's realm of social media, nonstop 24/7 sports news. I don't know. We're going to find this out. That's really the key here. We're going to find out how all of this works. Lucky that nothing was crazy there with C.J. Gardner Johnson. But at the end of the day, last year they played relatively injury-free football. Outside of Kaminsky with his oven mitts on his hands, and bringing some guys back from injury, there wasn't anything drastic. It's day 2, the second day out there on the field, and boom, here's already an injury scare for this team. So, just remember, this is a team that was 5th in the league in points, 11th in rushing, 8th in passing. So despite what anybody says, I call that balance. I think that you have to have balance. I think that you have to be able to run the ball and stop the run. I think Jared Goff is a more than capable quarterback who has more playoff experience than 99% of the league. I think the offense was just fine. The fact that the defense couldn't get a stop is the entire reason we didn't make the playoffs. The defense gets a stop in the first month of the year last year. We're probably in pretty good shape. You could say the Carolina game was an egg and New England was an egg. Outside of that, team was pretty damn good. That's going to be the key to this team's success. Can they replicate the formula that worked for them last year? Right? Those are the questions. That's what we want to see. They know what they have. And for right now, all we know is that C.J. Gardner Johnson, things seem to look okay. Early report or early view of things, him being carted off the field, not good. Early reports, very good. Could have been a scare. Might have went down, might have heard something. You have no idea. Felt a little wiggle. I mean, it's every football player's worst nightmare. And then trying to maintain and, continuing practicing after that. Like that's kind of tough too after watching one of your guys get carted off the field. Here we go with Tarek Skubal will be in the next big star. Okay. All right. Hour 2 is next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
There are 13 folds that bring the American flag to the iconic shape of freedom. This summer, Folds of Honor and Budweiser celebrate 13 years of changing military and first responder lives together. Service never stops, and neither will we. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for Folds of Honor.
Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Hot winds and scorching July nights. We've turned up the heat, and one lucky player every hour has the chance to win up to $5,000 in sizzling premium play. Blaze in to win red-hot prizes every Friday, 7 to 11 p.m. It's Scorching July nights, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Can a radio ad make Michigan's roads safer? Well, a lot of you are in your car on a Michigan road right now. So when it comes to traffic safety, looks like you're in the driver's seat, figuratively and literally. The Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police wants everyone to be safe on the roads. Can a radio ad make that happen? Maybe. Can you make that happen? Definitely. After all, you're in the driver's seat.
Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations. I think there's close to 30 across the Huge Radio network. For the one close to you, go to MrCarWash.com, and there you can join their Unlimited Wash Club. Now, this is a quick and convenient way to keep your car shining all the time. It's everything you love about getting your car washed in a simple, easy-to-use, affordable plan. As an Unlimited Wash Club member, you will enjoy all the benefits of washing as often as you like, no long-term contract, convenient monthly billing, and now you can be rest assured with a contactless visit. So go to MrCarWash.com right now, sign up for their Unlimited Wash Club Pass, and that means you can get your car washed at any Mr. Car Wash location across the Huge Radio network or anywhere in America. And for the location close to you across the Huge Radio network, you can also log on to MrCarWash.com.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Here's your host, Anthony.
Top of the hour breaking news bulletin here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. I want to welcome everybody. Welcome. All right, let's get right to the news.
Breaking news.
Oh,
from
boy.
Mr. Ian Rappaport. New York Scott, I hope you're listening.
Oh.
The Giants and running back Saquon Barkley have agreed to terms on a new one-year deal worth up to $11 million.
Shut up.
He gets a $2 million signing bonus. That meeting did not go well.
Sweet Zoom call, fellas. Hey, by the way, in case, I know everybody's all about fairness and equality and socialism. I know that they, communists at heart, everybody should be paid the same. But in the world of free market sports, the value just isn't there for the position. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how hard it is to explain. I've tried multiple times. Every time I do try to explain it, and I reemphasize the importance of being able to run the football and stop the run. And I'm going to continue to do so, because if you haven't heard it a million times on the show over the last 3 years and change, I'm going to continue to say it until I'm blue in the face. You have to be able to run the football. It is a must. An absolute must. You got to be able to have your offense keep the defense on their toes. And you can't do that if you're just forced to pass every single possession. Now, that being said, being able to run the football effectively starts a lot with the five guys on the line of scrimmage. They're kind of important. Offensive line, they get no love, right? Nobody talks about them. It's difficult to quantify their stats and effectiveness. Do they keep the quarterbacks upright? Do they generate a hole? Can the running back find it? Like that. That's what it is. Can your guards get down the field and mash some linebackers when they have to pull? They're important. You don't get anything accomplished without the offensive line. Left tackle for a right-handed quarterback protecting the blind side is arguably one of the most important positions in sports. That's why they get paid the way that they do. But I can't overpay a running back and have him eating up 8 or 10% of the salary cap when you're not on the field every play. I can't. I'm sorry. I know it hurts. I know it's hard to digest. It's hard to understand how is this important, but you can't make a financial commitment as substantial as some of the other positions on the field. Well, because we could find somebody else to run the football. Like that, plain and simple. Like that's what it is. Like every year, there are a lot of teams in college football that are going to produce running backs, and some are going to be different than others. Like Barry Sanders is an all-world talent. Like it is what it is. When you have one of those guys, is Saquon one of those guys? I don't know if Saquon's one of those guys. I don't think the Giants do anything without him. I can tell you that much. But at that position, I'm sorry. I know it's hard to digest, but it's the reality of the situation. So these guys, Austin Eckler, and Saquon, and Jacobs, and Christian McCaffrey, who's the highest paid running back in the league, they can get on every Zoom call they want. They can call the union. They can do whatever they want. You're more than welcome to. Hop on a Zoom. That's totally fine. At the end of the day, pork chops are pork chops. Porterhouses are porterhouses. It's the best way the best way I can describe it. If the quarterback is the filet mignon, if the quarterback is the tenderloin of the meat counter, what is the running back? Beef stew? Not Isaiah Stewart, but actually like stewing beef.
Say beef stew got $64 million.
I can't believe it. Yeah, well, they only got to pay 15 guys. A little different than trying to pay 53. So, economics and stuff. I don't know what to tell you. There's only in certain sports will people just be like, I'm not. You got to have equal pay. Like, all right, they produce an equal product. I say that all the time.
I said that when my first son was born. I wanted to train and be the last guy on the NBA bench. That was my goal for him in life. My father was like, "Why wouldn't he play baseball?" It's like, hey, in this hypothetical situation where I produce a professional athlete, which is very slim, it's like because he can be the last guy on the bench and make $3 million.
Yes, you can. Yes,
instead of making 20 grand in A ball.
We got 20 grand. Jeez, that must be the updated salary. How many years did he play A ball to make 20 grand?
Probably his fourth year.
20 years. Poor guys. Don't blink now. Tarek Skubal is becoming the next big star in this town. He's going to own it, and no one's talking about it. We talk about all that every day. Tarek Skubal is the next Justin Verlander. He is the truth. Skubal Manning Mize, baby. That's it. Skubal is the next big star in this town. Gonna own the town? I think that's a little.
I think we just people don't realize the Red Wings traded for a star. We have a star athlete. Alex DeBrincat is a star athlete.
Yeah, but if you don't watch hockey, then
Aiden Hutchinson is. Yeah, that's true. Aiden Hutchinson is
a star
there already. No. Probably. We'll see in the first few games.
No, Jahmyr Gibbs is a star. I watch national television. Jahmyr Gibbs is a star. He is LaDainian Tomlinson. Dan didn't say it, but I sent the Stafford text. We know. There's only one person that would text or call this show in the year of our Lord 2023 talking about Matthew Stafford.
Al Avila, Matthew Stafford, and Freddie walk into a room.
Now here's my question. I gotta answer a sports dinner. Let's say you could have a sports dinner. Who would be the third person that goes to dinner with Freddie, Matthew Stafford, and Al Avila? Who would be the third person? Wayne Fonts? Would that be him? AB always glossing over 2012 hype. I don't gloss over the hype, right? The 5-0 start, Chicago Monday night. Actually, my dad had the Motown Showdown T-shirt for that game. I made sure to get him one while I was working for Main Gate, which was the merchandise supplier there at Ford Field. I don't gloss over the 2012 hype. In the year of 2012, were the Detroit Lions the betting favorite to win the division, yes or no? In the year of 2012, were the Detroit Lions picked to win the NFC North by just about every major pundit and sports media outlet in the country, yes or no? The answer is no. They were not. They were not the betting favorite because Green Bay was still a thing. They were not the odds-on favorite to win the division because the Green Bay Packers were still a thing. Like, that's what it was. That's why it's different. That right there, the hype of going into 2012, after going to the playoffs, hey, the Lions, they could be there. I don't remember them being the betting favorite. That was, 11 years ago? So if somebody can remind me or find the proof in which a lot of national outlets were picking the Lions. The Lions are the consensus pick.
He did not send the Stafford text, he says.
Oh, now Freddie's got a burner phone. By the way, screw Austin Reeves dogging the city of Detroit on a podcast. I think that was more Matt Barnes. Yeah, that was more Matt Barnes talking about it. And I thought Reeves handled
he kind of agreed but didn't say anything.
Right, just kind of brushed it off like it's Austin Reeves, who cares? Your Al Avila take is dumb. I smoke cigars with you and admire you, but I don't agree with much you say or twist. I'm not here to twist anything. I admire you, Freddie. I would like to know the venue in which you and Al Avila had cigars at. Of course, you're going to say you got to run the ball now. I've been saying it my whole life. This isn't something new. This is never anything new. I wasn't wrong last week. I'm not wrong this week. The value is not in that position. I don't know how else to say it. I don't have to say it. Go look at the franchise tag number and then come back to me and tell me what GMs are saying. The value isn't there at running back. Doesn't mean you can't. It doesn't mean you're going to survive without being able to run the ball. You have to be able to run it. But you could find more guys to be able to do that if you have an established offensive line, and you could pay the other guy less to run the football. It's simple economics. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for Matt Golden and his team at the Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes, Michigan. They just got exciting news. Tullymore once again has been ranked as one of America's top 100 greatest public golf courses by Golf Digest, number 73 in America. And you can experience Tullymore. If you've never played before, you need to get up there. There's a Tullymore Golf Course, St. Ives, 36 holes, great stay and play accommodations. Or if you just want to book a tee time, Tullymore is less than an hour north of GR. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That is tullymoregolf.com. You can book a tee time for this summer, stay and play package throughout the end of the year, or even look ahead to 2024. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com. And congrats to everybody at Tullymore for being named one of America's top 100 greatest public golf courses by Golf Digest.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Hot winds and scorching July nights. We've turned up the heat, and one lucky player every hour has the chance to win up to $5,000 in sizzling premium play. Blaze in to win red-hot prizes every Friday, 7 to 11 p.m. It's Scorching July nights, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
In 2022, 5,773 people were seriously injured in crashes on Michigan's roads. 1,123 of those people didn't survive. The Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police reminds you that traffic safety matters to everyone all of the time. In the summer months, Michigan's roads are even busier. More traffic means more risk, but you also have more opportunity to do the right thing. Get to where you're going and do your part so everyone else does too.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. So great to have you right along with us. Text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000, would you? Or you can call us on the Meyer Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. That's Dan and Ryan. I'm Anthony. I'm appalled at this message. Of course, you're going to say now you got to run the ball, but you knew you were wrong last week. The two are completely independent of each other. Do you guys understand what I'm saying, Dan and Ryan? You guys know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just, at some point, you're going to be like, dude, you gotta just move on from this. Because the two are they're independent of each other. They just are. Like, you got to have lettuce on your shelf. You have to. You got to have lettuce, right? Lettuce isn't the same value as beef tenderloin. I'm sorry. Like, that's the best analogy I can come up with. I don't know what to tell you. You could sell 40 ounces of Colt 45, or you could sell, Clase Azul, or whatever. My point is, different products have different value. See how you feel when somebody says you should be paid less for your job because Albert's job is more important. Albert's job is more important. Albert probably does get paid more than me. That's the way the team works. I understand this. I understand the importance of Albert and what he means to this organization. He's our chief engineer, in case you didn't know. But Albert is absolutely more important. Without Albert, nothing works. And if nothing works, then there is no show. And I'm okay because I understand the relevance and importance of Albert's job. So the fact that Albert makes more than us, like that doesn't bother me at all. My mom makes more than I do at the grocery store. Like, it's hierarchy, folks. It's okay. Like, not everybody's going to be the CEO. Not everybody's going to be the owner. Not everybody's going to be the highest paid and have the most of everything. Like, that's not how it works. Like, some people are in the infantry. That's what happens. Some people are mechanics on ships. That's what happens. You go where you're told, you're assigned your duty, and go do your duty to the best of your ability. If you do that really well, a new opportunity might cross your paths. But this idea that we're all just going to jumpstart, I graduated school, I'm going to work for the biggest, I'm going to go be the CEO. Like, it doesn't work like that. Wake up. All right, it's hour 2, it's segment 2, which means it's time for... And by the way, I skipped a question to get to this one because, why wouldn't I get to this one right here? Matthew Stafford played for the Detroit Lions from 2009 until 2020. In his 12 seasons with the Lions, how many times did he start all 16 games in the season? 12 seasons. How many times did he start all 16 games?
10.
Ryan says 10.
8.
Dan says 8. The correct answer is 9.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which did include 8 years in a row, beginning back in 2011. I had to skip over another question for Matthew Stafford just to make sure he got plenty of airtime on the show this morning. Let's get over to New York Scoot, who's on the phone. Good morning, New York Scoot.
I put Scott on there.
Oh, I thought it said Scoot at
It
first.
did
I was
say
like,
Scoot
wait,
at
I was like, is
first.
this Scoot Henderson? Is the Boot, Scoot, and Boogie?
Oh,
New York
wow.
Scott, what's up?
Wow, busting my chops, Bellino, already. Okay. I'm coming back from vacation. This is what I got. I got you busting my chops over here.
How was vacation? Where'd you go?
Point Grays, kind of over by your area, actually. Just was that north of Detroit by Tawas?
Yeah, Tawas, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful area. We rented, me and a bunch of buddies. It was a buddy of mine's 59th birthday. We rented the entire campground and, partied till the wheels came off pretty much.
Wow, bunch of dudes out in the woods. Just guys being dudes.
No, not just guys. It was the whole, everybody and their families and everybody, the whole crowd. You know.
Oh,
everyone
wow. It's
was
like a commune out there.
Yeah. I mean, we were throwing it. It was such a hype party that the DJ that we rented was he ended up staying late for free. He was like, "I'm not leaving this party if you guys will have me." And I was like, "Let's jam it, brother."
Wow.
Even though he cut out early because he left a little after midnight, and then we partied till about 4:30 in the morning on, what was that, Saturday? Yeah, Friday was probably just a little bit earlier than that too. So yeah, we get it in, Bellino. We get it in.
You sound like it right now. I can feel the it's a Monday and we're not up 100% up to speed on a Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right there with you. You know, I was going to call you before you busted my chops and tell you how right you were and give you the phrases, but you know, I don't even know if I can go there anymore. I was actually looking up because I've known, you know, Dallas always invests in their offensive line. I can hate on them a lot about a lot of things, especially Dak and everything else, blah, 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 blah. But if you look back since, you can go back since Emmitt Smith, they've almost never not had a 1,000-yard rusher on their team, minus a couple years. But if you look, that was more of a tandem running game. They had DeMarco Murray, for 7 years in a row from like 2006 to 2012, something
Absolute
like that.
Beast.
Yeah, well, you think he was a beast, but then the 1 year he wasn't there, McFadden came in and he ran over 1,000 yards. Elliott comes in, runs every season over 1,000 yards. The fact is, you're right. It's complete investment. They've had also one of the best offensive lines, short of these past couple years, and they're still rushing the ball, but short of these past couple years, they've led the league in you know, some of the best offensive line play, right? I mean, a lot of all pros, a lot of Pro Bowlers on their offensive lines year after year after year. And it's no fluke that you can have a Tony Pollard, a DeMarco Murray, a McFadden, an Elliott, like just everybody rushes for 1,000 behind that line. So to your point, is the value at the running back, or should we put more money on the maulers up front to clear the path?
Offensive linemen get paid pretty well. And, you know, I always go back to this thought because Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones wanted Johnny Football bad. He wanted him bad. And they were sitting there at 16, and it was his son that said, "Dad, we don't need a quarterback. We need an offensive line." And they went and drafted the guard out of Notre Dame, Zach Martin, who, has been basically all pro ever since he stepped on the field. And then in the second round that year, they had picked 16 and 34. They ended up getting DeMarcus Lawrence from Boise State. He turned out to be pretty good with 54.5 sacks in his career. So you think about, like, I know there's a lot of flash in the pan, and I'm told all the time you got to draft quarterbacks. And there's a good example. If Dallas would have drafted Johnny Manziel, they don't get Zach Martin. Now, they haven't really done anything anyways, but it's neither here nor there. At least they're, in contention for double-digit wins, and, they're in the race for the playoffs. And if they don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointment, even though I think they're the most overhyped franchise in the history of professional sports.
Yeah, 100%, man. So, a sidebar question for you, Bellino. Did you own a cell phone ending 1910? Was that you? Is that your digits?
No.
No. Okay. All right. I thought I shot you a text, but I guess I'm just not as good as a recruiter as I thought I was. So I was going to hit you up over the weekend because I was out that way and see what's good with you. But I got some bad info, I guess.
Oh, you got bad. Yeah, you got to be a little stronger on the intel. I got a burner phone though. I'll give you that. I'll give you that number. It's a flip phone.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right, have Danny shoot it to me.
The flip phone is the truth. All this technology and these iPhones and stuff. I don't know about all that.
All right, man. I'll let you go on the day. You have a great one out there, brother.
All right, brother. We'll see you. There goes New York Scott. He's right. Look, and his team's got Saquon. He knows what Saquon means to him. He knows that. He knows without Saquon Barkley last year, that team probably doesn't make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, how much money are you willing to pay that position? That's what it comes down to. I love the Zach Martin, Johnny Manziel, Jerry Jones story. That's the most Jerry Jones thing ever. All right, we're going to step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Bill Simonson here with a message from my good friend Josh Garvey. Now, he's the new managing shareholder for Bean Garter. At the end of the year, they'll be merging with Doran Mayhew, and they'll be stronger together as one of America's top accounting and business firms. And speaking of business, if you're a business owner, decision maker, Bean Gardner has retirement planning services in combination with Dorn Mayhew that can help take a lot of work off of your plate. Third-party administrator for 401k and 403b plans. They plan, document, design, and have maintenance of all plans. They can help you today. Go to BeanGardner.com for more information. Annual employer reporting, Form 500 and 8955 preparation and filing, and compliance testing. So let Bean Gardner help you with your retirement planning services for your company. Stronger together now with Dorn Mayhew. You can find out more at BeanGardner.com. That is BeanGarter.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Freddie the Pizza Man Foundation is dedicated to providing support to families and Michigan schools touched by autism. We invite you to join us in supporting these families and schools by making a donation at FreddieThePizzaMan.com. With your donation, you can help provide essential resources that can make a real impact. Visit FreddieThePizzaMan.com to make a donation and to learn more about the foundation's mission. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com. Together, we can make a difference.
You're listening to Michigan's statewide morning show, X's and Bros, right here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Get that winning feeling over at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Money lines, props, parlays, and more. You can bet on all your favorite sports and take a shot at huge wins. We love huge wins. New customers can score $150 in bonus bets instantly for just betting $5 on literally anything. Plus, all customers can take their winnings to the next level with the DraftKings Same Game Parlay. Just open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Opt in, place your parlay by combining multiple bets from a single game for a shot at an even bigger payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Sign up using the promo code HUGE. New customers can score $150 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5 on anything. Promo code HUGE, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants some help, needs some help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus, Michigan only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility, deposit restrictions to apply. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. That's Dan and Ryan. And now we just got a phone call, a very special phone call, coming off of a big tournament win this past weekend, traveling all over the great state of Michigan, the Great Lakes state itself, playing beautiful courses like Tullymore, Arcadia Bluffs. Let's welcome in the summer 2023 champion, the coach, Kyle Barlow. He won a trophy. Everybody gets a medal. Coach Barlow, how are you, my friend?
Oh, fantastic. Coming off a wonderful weekend. Took a 10-shot lead into Sunday.
Oh!
And winning by one as the other participants in the golf tournament, once they know who the leader is, try their best to sabotage with various beverages being served, and some would say overserved, starting in the morning. So, very gracious to hang on to that victory. And, we played Arcadia Bluffs first, which was probably a mistake, because after that I just wanted to keep playing it over and over again. I would have played it all 3 days and been perfectly happy. But other beautiful courses, obviously Tullymore, one of our favorites, was the Sunday round. So started with a birdie, and I was like, whew, I'm cruising on here. I'm just going to cruise the victory. And then the beverages came.
So how do you guys do your trip? Is it like total score over the 3 days?
Yep, total score over 3 days, and the only handicap we use is not an established handicap for any league or any USGA thing that you sign up for. It's your up north scores, as we call it. So for this is year 10 of the trip. So we've calculated everybody's handicap who's played since they've been there up north, and that's the handicap you use. So it's not any other handicap other than the ones that you golf on the trip.
Oh wow, that because up north handicap is the real deal, folks. I don't know, like it's not anything. If you played Oakland Hills, if you played Inverness, if you played Firestone, like if you played, maybe even TPC Dearborn, if you played a legitimately challenging course regularly, I would still say up north golf is probably add 5.
Yeah. And it's a great way to do it with different guys coming from different parts of the state, even because your local muni that you play every league night or every weeknight for your league, you might have a 2 to 3 handicap because you play the same course over and over again, and it's not very challenging. Then you go up north and you get the undulations. You get the fast greens like you played on this weekend, man. Some of these greens, thank goodness the rain came through at Tullymore, because some of the guys would have been off the green. It's one of those where you 3-putt, but it's not consecutively. You have some of those scores going on, man. So it's a good time. I love it. I think it's fun. I think the courses were amazing, especially this year. It's like, and it's crazy. This is year 10. This is the first time we've ever repeated a course, and only because we did the original trip because we like it so much. But every other time we've played Treetops, we've played Shanty Creek, we've played, the Bay Harbors, we played up in Gaylord, we've played all over, man. And it's crazy how much good golf there is in northern Michigan and western Michigan for that matter.
That's so awesome. I'm glad you guys got an opportunity to do that. There was your boy Gian we were playing Arthur Hills last week there at Boyne, and one of the greens has like this It's probably like a 15-foot elevation. It's like a tabletop green. And he was down low right, chipped it up, hit the top, and I said, oh, no. And sure as hell, here it comes, trickling all the way back down to him. And I cannot say the words that he said during those moments, but he was, I mean, visibly shaken by it. He'd never seen anything like it. It was his first trip to play up North Golf. So we're talking tight fairways. Greens are crazy fast. Like, he had played Tullymore with me last year, but outside of that, like, I mean, this was completely different. You know, you're hitting, down, 100-foot drop in elevation at the monument there at Boyne, and he's like, wow, this is awesome. And I'm like, that's up North Golf, man. That's what we encourage people to do. Get out there and spend some time with your friends and go play golf. It's a beautiful game.
The tight fairways is something I'm glad you mentioned, because you don't get that at just your local course. I mean, there's some really nice courses in Southeast Michigan as well, but you just don't get consistently at the courses that you play, or at least we play. I mean, I don't know, unless you're a member of Oakland Hills, but was it the same for you? Like, were you doing a lot of putting off the fairway instead of chipping off those super tight fairways? Because there's a lot of putting going on.
I spent some time this spring working super remote, and I had gone south. In the deep south. Are those birds chirping in the background? I love that for you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get some coffee going. Yeah, back porch action here. Wifey's going to be walking around. I bet. Are you wearing an Ohio University Bobcat-themed robe right now? Yes or no?
Oh, not a robe. Close. I got a long T-shirt. Close, though.
Do I need to contact Coach Bowles and say we need like a velour green, forest green Bobcat robe? I think that would be a great way to start your day.
With a hood, like almost like a boxer-esque, where you walk out, and maybe a championship belt. Maybe next year, when you take your trip up north, maybe we start our own little golf trip, or maybe it's the 3-club belt. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out here.
Hey, by the way, that's Saturday, right? The 2-club invitational.
I did not know it was Saturday. Let me get with you offline.
All right, that sounds good. So what I was going to say was about the. So I took a trek and I was working at super remote, and there was like a quote short game facility, so you couldn't hit any shot over 50 yards, but they had all these different greens and bunkers, and you could pitch and putt and chip and do all this stuff. So what I was working on is that, okay, let's say that Texas wedge, right? You're going to pull the putter out of the bag. You want to use the putter in the fairway. And it's like, hey, your worst putt is still going to be better than your best chip. That's the old traditional sort of rule. School of thought. I'm trying to make chips now. I spent so much time out there that I found myself that as long as like you feel 80% of your weight on your forward foot so you don't chili dip it, and literally make the same sort of motion as you would putting. Like, we're going to think shoulders, a pendulum. We're not going to break the wrist. We're going to make a putting motion. Dude, you can pick it clean, and it will check and not move, and you can run it right at the hole. Like, I got that down to a science where I feel really, really comfortable where I don't putt really off the greens ever unless I'm, like, on the fringe, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to putt this because I would lag putt this anyways.
Right. No, I used to be like that with you. I was very confident in my wedge, and I would do the same thing. I'd put all the weight on the front foot and just kind of trap that ball down there so it just little spurts out and hits a little 1-2 at the pin. And, for whatever reason, though, one summer, I can't remember when it was, maybe last year or the year before, I had the old chili dippers. I was hitting chili dippers up Lee Jansen's bleep, on the range, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. So I started putting a little more. And then when you get to these courses up here, my dad is actually one that showed, 16 at Arcadia, where you're going right next to the clubhouse there, that long par 4.
Yeah.
He was about 103 yards out, and it's a lot of downhill from that point. And obviously we know how fast it is at Arcadia. And he 2-putted from 103. Because I dared him he wouldn't. And I said, I bet you won't take putter here. Because he had been putting off the green the entire day. And, 103 is a little ridiculous number for your putter. So he pulled the putter. He said, well, I guess he dared me. And he 2-putted. So one of the greater 2-putts I think I've seen from 103. So after that, I've been more and more of a believer of if you do it right, you can probably put off the green. And, especially if you're not confident in your chipper, or if you're more of a beginner, like Jihan might have been able to take, not that he's a beginner, but he might have been able to take more putts than he probably realized going into it.
And he's not afraid to do that either. That tabletop green, it was just the pin was in such a strange spot. I actually went off the back of the green, so he was front right, I was back left, and we picked up this guy whose son played on the 1986 Michigan State National Championship hockey team, I believe, and then spent some time in the NHL. So we were chopping it up, and he was riding. His best friend was riding around with him. But his friend couldn't play golf because he had a stroke, so he was just along for the ride and having a couple drinks and cigars and whatnot. And these two old pals, and I said, "How long you guys known each other?" And he's like, "Well, the funny story is we married twins." And Gian about fell out of the cart. He's like, "What have we been waiting for this whole time? It's a sign." I was like, "Well, that's one way to look at it." But he's just gotta have confidence in the short game. That's what it's all about. This game is all. It doesn't matter how far you hit it.
Nope.
I take that back. Most courses, it doesn't matter how far you hit it. But every course, it's going to matter if your putting and your chipping is good.
I'll tell you what, I was like Harmon this weekend when I was looking up the stats. Like, I was not the longest out of the tee by any stretch of the imagination, but man, I was hitting fairways, and I was like, usually I'm a little longer in that group that we're with, but for whatever reason, like, my swing is kind of transformed. I just got a nice little sweet spot where I hit a high cut, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep racking up fairways while all these guys are getting in trouble. Like, and you know how Tullymore is. If you're off the fairway, I mean, that thing is gone.
You're dead.
The heather, the weeds, whoo-wee, that is thick out there.
Heather, the weeds, the trees, there's stuff everywhere. There's ponds, there's swamps, marshes. Like, you got to hit fairways. You have to do it. The other day, I hit a 6-iron off the tee on a par 4. Just because, and hit it smack dab in the middle of the fairway. And I'm like, look, I'm not doing anything. It's a reachable par 4. I'm like, I'm not doing anything stupid. Like, I'm gonna play smart golf and then hit my wedge shot, bounce it off the green, and then miss my opportunity to get up and down so I can make a bogey, and then complain to myself why I just didn't hit the green in 1 and 3 putt.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how you know you're a good golfer. Like, you're taking a 6-iron off the tee and then you hit it right down the middle. Us, like, not so good golfers, when we take a 4-iron off the tee, think we're being smart, and then I slice it anyways into the weeds. I'm like, wow, I guess I just swung a driver, huh?
Should have just hit driver. There's nothing worse than playing it safe and then the safety play goes awry. By the way, I don't know if I told you this, but I bought a long putter.
Oh.
Yeah. And I used it for the second time in a round on Sunday, and man, is it fun? I mean, it's longer. Like, if I hit a ball into a hazard, that's my 2 club lengths right there. I mean, this thing is absurd. It is absurd. It's longer than my driver.
Wow. So you like it? Fair to say you like it? You center it in your chest, and
I love it.
Do that whole thing.
Yeah, I do. The way I grip it is I put my thumb like right above my sternum. Basically.
Oh, yeah.
And I just use that as like my anchor point, if you will, and then just nice and smooth. The problem is with the long putter, you feel like you have to take it back. Like, it's really hard to get the ball to the hole because you feel that you're going to smash it, and it's just not the case. Yeah. It's just so heavy that you're like, wow, it's purely a novelty thing that I saw that I wanted one, for a long time, and I just decided that I'm going to pull the trigger because I'm a single guy and I have no one to answer to, so why wouldn't I?
No, that's awesome, man. No, that's great. That's great. The better players, like the golf coach here at Ohio has a long putter. He plays with it. I've played with him a few times, and he puts the ball really well, man. And I don't know. I haven't taken the plunge yet. And he explained the whole logic of it and how statistically it's better and how you can shorten your stroke and keep it more consistent. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet, man. But people who have it, big believers.
What do you will you share with our audience what your grand prize was for winning this Up North golfing venture?
Oh, absolutely. And I was gonna ask. So we basically call it the Waterbury Open. Is the name of our golf trip now because we're all huge Happy Gilmore fans. So you win a custom Happy Gilmore Boston Bruins jersey that he wore in the movie, not the exact one he wore, but we put Gilmore on the back for it, and then you win a trophy. And remember in the movie when he said, except for this goofy golfer on top of this trophy, maybe the guy at the trophy shot put a little hockey player on it. So we put a little hockey player on it. And so that's our trophy. So I can even tweet a picture, and it's a good time. And You get bonus points for how many times you quote the movie Happy Gilmore on the golf course. Like, I was wondering for that guy that you and Jihan met, who was on the '86 Michigan State National Championship hockey team, if he just walks up to the counter every day and said, "Hey, I'm a hockey player, but I'm playing golf today," because that would be magnificent if he did that. I would be so psyched.
Does the jersey have the year in which you won it on it?
No, but the trophy does.
Okay.
You know what? That might be good to add a patch. Maybe we need a patch, Bellino. You know what? Now that I have sole possession of it for a year, I can kind of do what I want. Maybe a patch is in order.
Oh, it's a rotating jersey.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. The winner has to give it up. And then, similar to the yellow jersey in the Tour de France, once you, if you're in the lead on Friday, you have to wear that jersey that night while you're playing euchre, poker, cornhole, whatever you might be playing that evening. While enjoying some cold beverages, you must be wearing that jersey. Similar to the Tour de France, you got the yellow jersey, you got the happy jersey. You're in first.
That is, I love every bit about this. All right, last one here for you. Who is going to be the biggest star in Detroit sports right now?
Wow,
who's going to be the guy?
Just to switch up subjects, you know what?
This is a complete left turn.
No, I love it. I really want to say Amon-Ra St. Brown. I really do, but I think I'm going to go with kind of a dark horse. I'm going to go with Jalen Duren. I really think that guy's going to be a star. I think he's going to exceed probably everybody else on that team. I don't think he'll ever be a go-to player, but I think he'll be one of the top 3 players at his position in the NBA. That's my hot take.
Wow. Jalen Duren, I love that. Boy, would it be nice to have a 7-foot athletic freak that could just dominate and becomes that. He's a likable character too, because he plays hard and he doesn't cry about not getting the ball. So I'm all about that. He is the coach, Kyle Barlow. Find him on Twitter at Kyle Barlow4. Look for his picture that he says that he is going to post, and then find him on the island of Put-in Bay, the wonderful resort island. By the way, I want to tell you that, did you know WTOL estimated 20,000 people went there last weekend for Christmas in July? 20,000
on the ferry.
Dude, they had SWAT team there.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Some of the videos I saw coming out were a little sus, as the kids say.
Buy your Jet Express stock now.
I'm a Miller Ferry for life. Coach Barlow, I appreciate it, and I will see you on Saturday.
Yes, sir.
He agreed. You all heard it. Hey, Coach Barlow just played Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes. You should probably play there too. GB Ritz is going to play there tomorrow. Why wouldn't we all go to Tullymore? Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes offers not one but 2 championship courses, Tullymore and St. Ives. It's located about an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant, which means it's smack dab in the middle of the state, and it's easy to get to no matter what direction you are coming from. So what you need to do right now is call my friend Matt Golden and enjoy Tullymore, featuring not only top-of-the-line golf experiences, but also top-of-the-line accommodations and the perfect space for wedding event reception or group outing. Visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. We'll step aside. We'll be back with hour number 3. More on the Lions from camp, some thoughts from Dan Campbell, and wait till you hear about Naheem Hines and what happened to him. And this is why I preach this every single year going in to fantasy football. If you are the commish, if you are not the commish but playing a league, you need to hear this. We'll tell you about it hour 3 next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
In the den. Hey, sports fans, here's a hanging curveball that you can knock out of the ballpark. This is Matt Shepard, the voice of Detroit baseball, inviting you to step up to the plate at Eagle Casino and Sports, the mobile sports book where you can bet on all your favorites all year round, including, of course, our national pastime. So download the app and start winning today. Eagle Casino and Sports, made in Michigan, made for Michigan. Must be 21 years or older and in Michigan to play.
After playing 4 straight against the National League and before playing 5 more against a couple of National League teams on the road, the Tigers get back to dealing with a playoff-hungry American League squad tonight, the Angels. And when you talk about Los Angeles, you think of one of the most unique athletes in baseball history, Shohei Ohtani. He is simply amazing. He has the power of Aaron Judge and is on pace for 58 homers. He has the pitching prowess of Garrett Cole and will have better numbers than when he was named MVP in 2021. On top of that, at 6'4", 210 pounds, he has 11 stolen bases. There's a reason he's nicknamed the Unicorn. We've never seen anything quite like him, but we get to see him for 3 straight starting tonight at Comerica Park, and we all think it's pretty cool.
There are 13 folds that bring the American flag to the iconic shape of freedom. This summer, Folds of Honor and Budweiser celebrate 13 years of changing military and first responder lives together. Service never stops, and neither will we. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for Folds of Honor.
Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Matt Shepard from the Michigan Sports Network. I love summers in Michigan because it means golf season. Now, two things always when I go golfing. I make sure I got my sticks, and I've got plenty of cold, fresh Labatt Blue Light. Whether I've just squeezed in 18 holes or I just want to relax on the patio after a long day, everywhere I go, and I'm serious when I tell you this, I tell people about the smooth, genuine taste of Labatt Blue Light. It's just a great beer. Michigan Sports Network is giving you a chance to win a foursome to Michigan's best courses. Just listen weekdays to The Huge Show and X's and Bros, or just text GOLF to 21,000 to enter. That's GOLF to 21,000. The trip includes 2 overnight stays and 2 rounds of golf, all brought to you by my friends at Labatt Blue Light. So grab a Labatt Blue Light the next time you head out onto the course and enjoy the blue skies, because blue is for Michigan summers and great times. Always enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt is a registered U.S. trademark of Labatt Brewing Company, Ltd.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the corner! To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win! The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenneth Walker! Touchdown! Smarty!
Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here. Hour number 3 of X's and Bros coming at you live on this Tuesday morning. It is the 25th day of July, 2023. It's great to have you riding along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. You can text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports radio to 21000. Our Myers Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros, and, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. Add a .com to that to find our website. xbmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox, and you can find us all individually on Twitter. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Hey, Dan, can you do me a favor?
Yep.
Can you kill that echo?
My bad.
There we go. Perfect. Appreciate you. Thanks, man. It's all good. You don't have to say you're bad. I understand. I get it. All right, great show. Lots going on here today. Breaking news. The Giants and Saquon Barkley have agreed to a deal. Congratulations, New York Scott. Scotty. New York Scott, the G-Man, as old Chris Berman used to say. Well, how about that? The breaking news this morning, Saquon Barkley is a New York football Giant. They had that big Zoom call. Eckler, Jacobs, Barkley, Run CMC. They were all in on the Zoom. They're getting ready to talk about the disparity in the pay for their position, all this shenanigans. Saquon Barkley and the Giants have agreed to terms on a 1-year deal worth up to $11 million. The deal includes a $2 million signing bonus. A 1-year deal with a $2 million signing bonus. Now, the Giants and Barkley did not agree to a deal before the deadline for franchise players to agree to their long-term deals, meaning that he would have had to play the season on the franchise tag, which was just shy of $11 million. So and I might have this wrong, but if you get tagged for $10.091 million, you're getting $10.091 million. From what I'm seeing here, this deal is worth up to $11 million. Includes a $2 million signing bonus. So we went from $10.091 million guaranteed to $2 million.
No, he has an $8 million salary, $2 million signing bonus, and then up to $1 million in incentives. So an extra almost $1 million.
All that stink for an extra $1 million. That's what you're telling me.
Well, that, and since the deadline passed for Barkley to sign a multi-year deal, it's either sign the franchise tag or convert the franchise tag into a 1-year deal with different incentives.
And then go back to the table.
Right.
Next offseason.
So he had two choices, the $10 million deal or sign him Well, three choices. Or sign a 1-year deal, a new one, or don't play.
What I don't understand is that if the Giants already have this, like why wouldn't they try to go? Why wouldn't the Giants try to go a little bit longer? I guess that's what I can't seem to figure out. Like if they know that they got him, they basically have Saquon pinched here. He's 26 as of today. I don't know when his birthday is. So he won't be 27 until next February. So if he's 26 years old, why not try to get him on a 3-year and make that number come in somewhere between, 24 and 30 million?
Well, they couldn't agree to a multi-year deal anymore because that deadline passed with the franchise tag deadline. So they couldn't work out a long-term deal anymore. So it was either the franchise tag or a new 1-year deal.
Correct. So what I'm thinking is if he's on the brink, let's try to throw on we'll put on our management cap here. If he's like, I'm not signing the franchise tag, you're like, okay, all right, well, here's your option. And then you have the week leading up to it, and you're like, look, Saquon, Mr. Barkley, here's what we have for the franchise. Here's what happens if you don't sign that and don't want to sit out. You can make this much money. But why don't we try to get to because I'm not opposed to re-signing Saquon. I'm just not going to pay him $15 million a year. That's all I'm saying. That's my whole point. Like Christian McCaffrey, I think, is the highest paid running back in the league and makes near $16.5 million a season. Something in that neighborhood. It's over 16. I know that much. I think it's 16.4, 16.5, something in there. I'm not going to do that because the liability there from a management standpoint is I might have all of this money. And I love NFL contracts because, if you're not producing, they can just done. See ya. You're basically an at-will employee, which I think is awesome because the majority of us are. So it's a very real world. It's not like in the NBA where you're like Ben Simmons and Zion, and you're like, I don't feel myself. I just can't play. You don't just, cry your way into a new contract and then sit out for a season and still collect a check. Like that doesn't happen in the NFL, thank God. But I do wonder if New York couldn't just say, hey, we're not budgeting on the 15. So come in at 12. Come in at 12 for 3 years. It'd be good. So Freddie, real quick on hold. Good morning, Freddie, real quick on hold. How are you?
What's up, baby?
Not much. Just Saquon signed. Tarek Scooble's the truth. A big dub yesterday. Guy told us yesterday morning. Our guest told us yesterday morning. Bet the Tigers. We all should have taken the Tigers.
Yeah, or whatever you just said. Blah 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 blah. I'll tell you why the Giants won't sign Saquon to a 3-year deal now. Because they're not stupid. They know they've screwed these running backs. You give a running back a 3-year deal now, year 2 or 3, they're gonna have what it now, and they don't want to be in that position. They've screwed these running backs, and I think it's BS.
The running backs are gonna have what? Did he just hang up on us?
He did, yeah. I don't think he's mad at us. I think maybe he's just like working.
Well, what I don't understand is what happens after the second year. That's the part that I missed. The running backs just don't run as hard anymore. I mean, that's kind of what we ran into a little bit with Zeke. Like his yards per carry dropped once he got paid. And then they went with Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard's a guy running like his hair's on fire. I think that this is why you can't just look at statistical production. You have to have a really good feel for the human beings that you are drafting.
I'm looking at the Giants' salary cap right now for this year. They couldn't even really afford to give Saquon more than what they did at this moment. Because they have near $23 million in dead cap this season. Kenny Golladay was nice 14.7 dead cap. Really? So Sterling Shepard, Cardavius Toney. So like they have a lot of and that all goes away next year. So, like, Saquon, if he could get a multi-year deal at the end of this season.
And the question is what conversation did they have about it?
Right.
That's what it comes down to. And that's something that we don't know unless he talks about it or their general manager does. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for Matt Golden and his team at the Tullymore Golf Resort in Canadian Lakes, Michigan. They just got exciting news. Tullymore once again has been ranked as one of America's top 100 greatest public golf courses by Golf Digest, number 73 in America. And you can experience Tullymore. If you've never played before, you need to get up there. There's a Tullymore Golf Course, St. Ives, 36 holes, great stay and play accommodations. Or if you just want to book a tee time, Tullymore is less than an hour north of GR. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That is tullymoregolf.com. You can book a tee time for this summer, stay and play package throughout the end of the year, or even look ahead to 2024. Go to tullymoregolf.com. That's tullymoregolf.com. And congrats to everybody at Tullymore for being named one of America's top 100 greatest public golf courses by Golf Digest. Huge here for all the Mr. Car Wash locations across Michigan. You're going to want to look into that unlimited monthly pass that I use. Superfly Hayes, my producer, uses it. I can get my SUV washed as often as I like for one low price. You can sign up today. Just go to MrCarWash.com or stop by your local Mr. Car Wash location here in Michigan for the one close to you. And to get that unlimited pass, go to MrCarWash.com.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros Michigan Sports Network. One of the craziest stories coming out of the sporting world is that the Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal has made a world record bid for Kylian Mbappe. You might not know him, the Frenchman Mbappe. And the Saudis missed out on Messi. They already have Ronaldo. Why this is important is that the fee that you are seeing, Al Hilal making a record 300 million euro bid for Mbappe, that goes to the actual club. So you got to pay the club in order to acquire the player, and then you have to pay the player on top of that. And so for Kylian, they're looking at $776 million to play for Al Hilal for one season. For comparison, $531 million allegedly is LeBron James's all-time NBA earnings. Patrick Mahomes, $494 million. That's his deal through 2031. $450 million is what the Arizona Coyotes are worth. The New York Mets' entire payroll is $367 million. Tom Brady's all-time NFL earnings, $332 million. The 2023 NFL salary cap is $225 million. The Seattle Storm are worth $185 million allegedly. And Tiger Woods' career PGA earnings, $157 million. Just for comparison's sake. What Al Hilal is ready to shell out for Kylian Mbappe. Now, it does sound like he's not going to take it. It looks like he's expected to join Real Madrid. So
why?
Because it's not in Saudi Arabia. Like, that's not a destination. Ronaldo did it specifically
How
for
many
the money.
soccer games is this?
I don't know how many soccer games this Saudi league plays.
Could you literally use the $300 million you're making? Guess what? You can hop on a private jet.
No. 300 goes to the club.
Okay.
He gets $767 million.
Listen. You can hop on your private jet and go to a free country every day after practice. That's how much money you have.
Go to a free country?
You can go to a, where there's not dictators.
How are you going to get on your private jet then if it's not a free country? You don't just get to choose.
Yes, you do. When you're making $700 million, I think they wouldn't care.
Wait a minute.
If you're playing for their soccer team, I'm saying
they're not a free country, and they are ran by a dictator, according to you. And the dictator's just going to allow this guy to go live somewhere else in between games? You think that would be? You think that's up to par?
Yes. This is not like this is not a citizen, Anthony. It's kind of how everything works there. Like, I mean, have they taken hostage of the live players? No. Exactly. They can go as they please.
Have they played any events in Saudi Arabia? Have those guys even been to Saudi Arabia yet? All their events were like in the United States, and they had what? One in the UK?
They had one. Did they have one there? They had
I don't
one
know.
near there, I think.
I'm not Saudi Dan. I don't keep track of that fake tour.
You mean the tour that owns the PGA now? That tour?
No, the one that bent the knee to the PGA and Jay Monahan to the rightful crown of professional golf? Yes, that one. That other secondary fake tour. That's the thing. These and I don't really care. I'm just pushing buttons right now. I'll be completely upfront with that. But just because they haven't done it to a live player doesn't mean that they can't say no. You're not flying your jet out of here. I don't think that they would, because that looks bad, and they're not into looking bad right now. If anything, with what the Iranians have just armed themselves with, I believe that it's in the Saudis' best interest. As long as they don't get along, it's in the Saudis' best interest to keep ties with the United States as free and as open as possible. That's why, a while back we had a writer on from The Athletic, and he was covering the world of golf, and unfortunately he was one of the cuts, but he did a very long, a large segment with us, and we talked for a long time afterwards, just about what this could potentially mean and how much deeper it was than just the LIV and the PGA Tour. Because the ties that bind between the two countries, how important it is for the United States and also for Saudi Arabia. One, because, we are a large purchaser of oil because everything's made out of oil. You need oil for everything. So despite whatever green new plan they want to push on you, doesn't matter. Like, ridiculous. Like, what do you think? You think they use solar powered trucks to to haul the lithium from the mine in Africa, to put it on a ship that's ran with wind turbines to ship it to China? And do you think that all those folks there then transport it via truck to whatever plant in order to make come on, it's just absolutely ridiculous. We're not running out of oil. Anywho, we are a massive consumer of oil. Saudis have a lot of oil. It's good marriage.
There's been one live tournament in Saudi Arabia. It was in October. They only have one event. It's every October.
One event every October. But they are in the process, if I'm not mistaken, of building a number of golf courses. I don't know how you're going to.
You kind of have to if you're going to start a golf league.
Well, I mean, do you? Do you have to have golf courses on your soil? It seems like it'd be very hard
if you want to
for irrigation purposes.
Feels
Right,
like but hard. I mean, if you kind of want to be the leader of the golf league, probably want
now
to
when
bring
you say golf, are you talking GULF or GOLF, or
both.
maybe they're going for both? The plot thickens. But it's important.
Just like next to the 18th green, just they're digging for oil as well.
Just have a giant rig.
Yep.
You got to hit a ball off the rig. That would be awesome.
Frankenstein's fat foot.
Yeah, you're just up there on an oil rig, couple hundred feet, and you gotta smack the hell out of the ball and adjust for windage and elevation. But I mean, this is all part of Saudi Arabia's efforts in Europe as well, Western Europe, the United States, very much in tune and in alignment with one another, even though there are some current disagreements on what's going on in Eastern Europe. This is all very important, and it's all bigger than sports. Sports just happens to be the gateway to maybe that we can open up some dialogue and some conversations from a political standpoint and kind of lighten the load a little bit on our people here as we continue to try to boost relations, give the American people a little bit more confidence in our new Saudi friends, despite whatever you may believe about whatever may have happened 22 years ago. And I'll leave it at that. But it's interesting. That's a massive fee for Kylian Mbappe. $776 million for one season? One season. Mahomes' contract goes into 2030. Jeez. By the way, I still have yet to watch another episode of Quarterback. It's on my list of things to do, but I'll tell you
Ryan talked about it. It's cool. The in-game stuff is sweet. I just could not care less about what Kirk Cousins is doing on a day-to-day basis. I'm sorry.
That's how I feel with 99%. Like, I can't, I look at Patrick Mahomes' wife, and I hate to be this way, but she's just annoying to me. Like, listening to her talk, I'm like, why are we interviewing her? We literally do not care. I don't care. Somebody does, I'm sure, but it definitely ain't me. Does his younger brother pop up at all? I'm surprised I haven't seen him on a floating swan in the pool in the backyard doing TikToks.
I think I've watched 4 episodes, and there's just been nothing major. Like, they show me standing next to Brittany before a game, and you just saying hi to him before the game.
Well, that's good. That's
good.
It. Hey, like I said, after the first year that those two were acting reckless, Patrick's got to put the clamps on it, and he got the brother under wraps. As for the wife, I mean, the players' wives, they get a little outspoken from time to time. That's bound to happen because that's their husband and they love him and yada yada yada. But for some of the crew members, family members on the outside, you got to put a clamp. You got to make sure that everything's tightened up. We're not going to say anything. We're not talking. We're not doing any of that. We're buttoned up here. I'm the one handling the business. I'm the one making the money. Everybody else, be quiet. Don't say anything. Stop making me look like an idiot. We'll step aside when we return. I want to hop back into the Tigers game because we didn't get a real chance to talk about it. Plus, some audio from Dan Campbell, some thoughts about camp as well. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Make it $1 million summer with over $1 million in premium play every Saturday now through September. 6 lucky players win $500 premium play every half hour from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Don't miss the excitement of $1 Million Summer. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Fuel up for less with M-Perks. Earn points on your purchases when you shop at Meijer in-store and online. Then use your points to claim a fuel reward and save at the pump. Your dollar goes further at the pump with M-Perks. Plus, earn points for all qualifying purchases in the Meijer Express station. And keep a lookout for exclusive Meijer Express offers. Enter your M-Perks ID at checkout to earn. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Wisconsin. Max 30 gallons. Download the Meijer app to sign up or see Meijer.com to learn more.
Bill Simonson here with a message from my good friend Josh Garvey. Now, he's the new managing shareholder for Bean Gardner. At the end of the year, they'll be merging with Doran Mayhew, and they'll be stronger together as one of America's top accounting and business firms. And speaking of business, if you're a business owner, decision maker, Bean Gardner has retirement planning services in combination with Doran Mayhew that can help take a lot of work off of your plate. Third-party administrator for 401k and 403b plans. They plan, document, design, and have maintenance of all plans. They can help you today. Go to BeanGardner.com for more information. Annual employer reporting, Form 500 and 8955 preparation and filing, and compliance testing. So let Bean Gardner help you with your retirement planning services for your company. Stronger together now with Doran Mayhew. You can find out more at BeanGardner.com. That is BeanGarter.com.
You're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Get that winning feeling with the DraftKings Sportsbook, money lines, props, parlays, and more. You can bet on your favorite sports and take a shot at big wins. New customers can score $150 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5 on anything. Plus, all customers can take their winnings to the next level with the DraftKings same-game parlays. Open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place your parlay by combining multiple bets from a single game for a shot at an even bigger payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Sign up using the promo code HUGE. That's promo code HUGE. New customers can score $150 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5 on anything. Promo code HUGE only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, if you or somebody who has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus, Michigan only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. Now, this was sent, I forget, where was this sent at? Where was that USA Today rankings? Where
it was in our text.
Was it in the? It was in the text, Instagram, Snap. Oh, just stuff everywhere. I don't know what's going on here. But the USA Today sports section did 2023 NFL record projections, and they have the Detroit Lions at 11-6. 4-game differential because they have the Bears, the Packers, and the Vikings all at 7-10. What I found was very interesting about that 11-6 record is that they only have three teams, four. You got the Eagles and the Jets and the Bengals all at 12-5. And then the big outlier here is the Bills at 13-4. Wow. Really? That's how they're feeling. Now they have the Bengals at 12-5, the Ravens at 11-6, the Steelers at 11-6, and the Browns at 10-7. They have the Cleveland Browns with the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a lot of, you know what our friend Nick Saban would call this? He would call this rat poison. That's what he would call this. And that's the slippery slope that we have entered into. Now, a couple of things from Detroit Lions training camp, one of which C.J. Gardner Johnson going down with an apparent knee injury. It was a running play. He was engaged and then dropped to the ground, tapped on his right knee, ended up getting carted off the field. And from there, nothing too crazy. A couple guys come say a few words to him. They talked about Jared Goff, making a pit stop, and then the allegedly a source told NFL Network that he is fine. So we'll get some more tests and get some clear results from this, which I think is obviously we don't want to speculate on what it could be, what it might be, things of that nature. But that's one thing that we were really very fortunate in, outside of John Kaminsky playing with his oven mitts. And we did lose Tracy Walker for the season last year, which that was a huge blow, but that might have been a little bit of a blessing in disguise because we got to see, what somebody like Kirby Joseph can provide to this team. And I think that they're, for a young man like Kirby to come in and kind of seize the moment, seize the opportunity, that's huge. Here is Dan Campbell prior to yesterday's practice.
For the first 4 days, this is an hour and a half, so this will be really dialed back, but it's to get their legs under them, work our way in. Probably the only thing to note, Mosley is not here yet. He will be. He's excused. He will start on PUP when he arrives, and it's probably going to be a little bit longer than what we hoped for. And that's really predicated on the work that was going. He was progressing so fast, so we're going to put the brakes on a little bit. I don't want to say setback, but it's just a little bit, it'll be a little bit longer. So everybody else, we're doing pretty good. We're ready. Our guys are ready. They did a good job. I'd say great job on the conditioning test. Our weights were good. So, we look like we're ready.
Now,
Gerald Garner.
Weights were good, he said. Liam McNeil came in down 20 pounds. Said he feels just as strong. And he said, last time I was at this podium, I was about 327. I'm 305 now. I feel a lot better, a lot tighter and faster on the field. I still have the same strength, so I feel really good. Boy, that would be nice. McNeil said last year was kind of an up and down year for him. He said, quote, I didn't personally like it, but I didn't dislike it. This year I'm looking to be able to be who I want to be on the field and to be able to show everybody what I can really do. All right. I like that, Mr. McNeil. This is good. These are good things. Who you got over there on the
our boy Joe.
Joe and GR? All right. Joe and GR on the Meyer Supercenter guest line. You can join us too, 248-951-2176. Good morning to you, Joe. How are you?
Hey, Boozoo, what's going on, my man?
I'm here hanging out, having a good Tuesday.
Hey, so I almost called you yesterday, but my work gets crazy sometimes, and I didn't have a chance. But you were asking about that quarterback show, on Netflix?
Yeah. Yep.
Yo, bro, I'm hooked on it. I know it's cheesy, dude. So I watched Kirk Cousins, way back when he was in high school, and I knew that dude was going to be a beast. I didn't know he was going to be a freaking starting quarterback, one of the top 15 in the league, but I knew that he was going to do some stuff. And, the dude was sick, man. And I'm in no way a Christian or any of that crap, but I support the dude. Seeing some of the off-field stuff that they have to go through, like the conditioning, the workouts, people just see these big contracts and think, they're just making this money out there slinging the football, and I don't think they understand all the work that these players are putting in off the field.
It's nonstop. It's a 365-day a year job. They get their vacation, obviously, but there is a very, very large misconception into what goes into an off season from a strength and conditioning standpoint, what their workouts actually look like. And DK Metcalf was talking about, he works out, he only eats one meal a day. He works out, eats a bag of candy, and then works out again. And what his workout would be, a normal person probably can't go through two of those, but he's doing two a day. And that's why he looks the way that he is. And that's why, when we're talking about the financial ramifications and investment into human performance, right? We are expecting our basketball players to make shots. We're expecting our hockey players to score goals. We're expecting our football players, whether they're on the offensive or defensive side of the ball, to make plays. And you got to think about it. They're going against the best of the best. There isn't anybody out there that doesn't belong. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Yep. Everybody was that all-world athlete in high school. And you got to see 11 of those guys on the other line of scrimmage. And then you get to the college level. The one thing I don't like about about the show is those one-on-one interviews where they have that black backdrop with what looks like two lights that shine in on the players, but it's just screen printed. It's like a corny green screen. That part, I'm like, dude, you guys put all this money into the show, and that's what we're going to interview with? I couldn't get past that.
That's the Peyton Manning twist, bro, to keep it humble.
Yeah, exactly. Peyton said, put a green screen up here, save a couple dollars.
And they do show Patrick Mahomes' brother, but there's no no interview or nothing, huh? They just show him at the Super Bowl and at the AFC Championship game and hanging out with Mahomes' wife, and I agree, she is annoying. However, I think it's kind of cool because she's like us, she gets all excited about the game, the calls. You go, and again, I'm a Kirk Cousins fan just because I watched him since he was in high school. But his wife gets on my nerves because she's just so lethargic and making, I don't know how to explain it, conservative about the way she expresses herself, maybe. And I know it can come across phony, but that's really who they are.
Yeah.
Because he lives down here in Saugatuck in the off season,
Yeah,
so he's in the community all the time.
I think they bought a golf course over there, if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Yeah. And you know what? It's interesting to see the personalities, right? So you look at Kirk, kind of a quiet, reserved, like you mentioned, just kind of a conservative guy. And you see his wife, and you're like, this is exactly, you hear her talk, that's who I would expect Kirk Cousins to marry. And you look at how almost down to earth regular people. She's like, yeah, we shop at Target. Like we go to Costco and save money. Like they are just normal people her husband just happens to have a very abnormal sort of job. But you look at the drastic difference in someone that is your everyday guy like Kirk Cousins, and then you get a guy like I don't know, I'll go with like Tyreek Hill, right? That's just out there. That's just a wild man. And it's like these are the personalities. And when you're the quarterback, I think that this show gives you sort of an interesting look at how important it is for the team to believe in the guy that's under center. You saw that happen with Marcus Mariota in episode 1. They go into overtime. He fumbles the snap, blows the game basically. Like, it's so quick to lose. Like, you have to win the locker room. The guys around you have to. It's weird. They got to like you. You know, they have to respect you.
Yeah. Hey, how far episodes are you in? Because,
just
when they
one.
bench. All right. So when they bench Mariota, dude, he's like off the show. Like, I don't even know, like, they just say, he left and whatnot, and then they just kind of leave it. I'm hoping they pick up on it in the next couple episodes because he's just like right off the show, dude. Like he's just gone.
Just disappeared. Just poof. I'll look forward to it. It's on my list of things to do. I definitely want to watch more of it because I do find it fascinating, the human dynamic that exists within a locker room. You know, we're so far detached. You know, we play fantasy sports. We look at the production from a numbers only standpoint, right? How many yards did you have? How many touchdowns did you have? There's so much more that goes into these games that is just, I mean, in every sports clubhouse is different, right? An NFL locker room is very, offense and defense, very, very, not, I wouldn't say divided, but you spend a lot of time with your individual position groups because there's so many guys on the field, right? So your DBs go with the DBs and linebackers, D-line, O-line, running backs, receivers, quarterbacks. So they have their own rooms, right? And then it's like your offensive meetings over here, your defensive meetings over there. It's just a weird dynamic. In hockey, smaller roster, but still a large roster, 26 guys, all in the dressing room. Like it has its own very unique, very special sort of like unified dynamic there. And then you go into baseball where the clubhouse can be it can be like one big party, or it can kind of be like everybody on their own. The baseball clubhouse can be kind of different in comparison. And then in basketball, who knows what a basketball locker room looks like? Is it starters over here and other guys over there? They don't really hang out after, like, I don't know. Like, it's just that human dynamic of you're working with your coworkers. We get like Denzel Mims, for example, coming over from the New York Jets. Like this, Mims had requested a trade. He finally gets here, gets a fresh start. That's kind of exciting. And immediately, according to Mims, Goff was the first person who called after the trade. They took some time to talk about the team, the offense, the playbook, like how important that is for Jared Goff to take that role and get on the phone immediately. Like that it's the human element that exists in sport.
Yeah, hey, man, I'm thinking Goff's going to have a big year. All these people that keep saying he's mediocre. I don't know what quarterback they were watching last year, but he was definitely a top 10 quarterback, and they wouldn't have the record without Goff. But the other thing, too, I'd like about that program, Anthony, is how they show all the investment that the athletes put in themselves, right? Like how LeBron spends, $1 million a year to keep his body condition?
Yeah.
They show Mahomes all his different, hired people that help him with his body, his throwing, and the same with Kirk Cousins. But I guess that's the part where we as fans, we hear about it, but to actually see it, and then the grind that these guys go through, on a weekly basis in order to prepare, it's kind of cool to watch. And like I said, I know it's cheesy, dude, but I'm hooked on that show.
Well,
I get off work, bro, and I'm right on it.
I'm definitely going to watch another episode, just because for me it's. I like some of that in-game stuff. I like the exchange between Patrick Mahomes and Max Crosby. I'm saying, like, they're like that.
Yep.
That exists. Like, there are people on the other side of the football that would strike fear into a lesser man, and those kind of things they add up, man. They're a lot of fun. So, GR Joe, I appreciate the call this morning. Thank you, my friend. Man. Always great to hear your voice, brother.
Have a good day, bro.
Hey, by the way, in case you missed it, we will have more training camp. Hopefully, we'll get an update from Dan Campbell. Corey Woods did ask him a great question that I want to play. I just got to find it.
This is day one.
Only PUP, specifically, I guess, Levi.
Levi's going. He'll get some reps today, and we'll just progress Levi in as we go.
It's everything. I got to find out where this is at. He's talking about Levi Onwuzurike. It'd be nice to see what Levi Onwuzurike can do. That might be one of those guys that we're not talking about because we haven't seen him because he hasn't been healthy. That maybe he's healthy and maybe they feel like that's the reason that they didn't go defensive line because they're like, hey, we have this guy. He's just got to get healthy.
Dan, what kind of message do you...
Go ahead. I'll come right back to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. You guys brawl. Let's go.
What kind of message tone do you set and speak to the team about for this first day going in?
This one, really, I think it's just what I said. It's really the, look, let's stay off the ground. Let's work together. This is where you start the fundamentals without pads, but, you're working on all those things. You're getting the scheme. And really, that's kind of what this is about. This is, until we put pads on, everything is about getting their legs under them. Is that, am I answering the question that you want, or?
Is there any talk about expectation or focus?
No. I mean, everything I told them was about work. It's about the work. And I've said that from day one. It'll always be the same message. It's about work. That's what we do. You got to go earn your right every year. Doesn't matter what the players are, the coaches, expectations, where you were, where you're going. We got to work, man. And so this is day one of that.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
Just from a personal standpoint, like you still had that level of excitement, or just talk about your mindset personally going into your third training camp.
Yeah, I'm excited as always. It's always going to be different. Just in regards to what you have, where you've been. That first year, you're trying to figure out exactly who's who. I mean, you've got an idea when you watch the tape, but you're coming in. There's a lot of carryovers. There's the guys that you drafted. You got a new staff, and so you're just trying to see where you're at a little bit. Who's who can coach, who can play, who can. And that's on top of working with Brad and front office, all these things. And whereas now I've got a real good feeling and a handle of those things. I know where we're at. We got a great rapport, and now it's just another level of the players that you've brought in and where they fit. We know the guys that can play. We got a real good idea who those are. Probably our core group. Yet they have to prove it again. They've been told that. You can't just say you're going to be good and be good. You still got to show it. And then those other pieces, right? The new guys we've drafted, these free agents, where do they fit? Where's the chemistry? So it's exciting. This time of year is always exciting.
I like that question from Corey because just, going from year 1 to year 2 to now into year 3, things have turned a little bit. Like it's a great sign. It's a great sign for this Lions team and how they all handle all of it. He's saying all the right things, Dan Campbell is, because that's exactly what it is. It doesn't matter what your record was last year. That's not going to help you this year at all. And what will help this team is buying into the same process that helped them the final 10 weeks of last season. For Dan and Ryan, I'm Anthony. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Same time, same place. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Find savings for all subjects when you shop back to school at Meijer. Start every day on a tasty note with Kellogg's or post-breakfast cereal for $3.49. And start shopping early with deals like select name brand and fashion backpacks for 20% off. And Crayola crayons or Elmer's glue for just 50 cents. Plus, get Meijer's 70-sheet notebooks for just 35 cents. Find it all in one place and for the right price at Meijer, where you pay the same low Meijer price no matter how you shop, in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
There are 13 folds that bring the American flag to the iconic shape of freedom. This summer, Folds of Honor and Budweiser celebrate 13 years of changing military and first responder lives together. Service never stops, and neither will we. So join me in raising a Budweiser to raise funds for Folds of Honor.
Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Hot winds and scorching July nights. We've turned up the heat, and one lucky player every hour has the chance to win up to $5,000 in sizzling premium play. Blaze in to win red-hot prizes every Friday, 7 to 11 p.m. It's Scorching July nights, only at Soaring Eagle